Kitty.
Hi, I'm Mikey, and this is Witch's Gift.
Yes, and we're going to talk about the Battle Frost update.
Woohoo! Unexpected, actually.
Not really. Given that last time they didn't have a god, it's not that unexpected, so...
Yeah, I thought they would put the god in next month's patch. Oh, here it is.
Nope.
Here she is.
That's not what High-Rise does. Alright, so, Bellona! And please don't call her Baloney for the love of everything. Roman warrior goddess. Pretty much, well, kind of like a female version of Otis, in theory, kind of. Her lore is actually pretty awesome, you should read up on that, but we're not here to talk about her lore, are we? We're here to talk about how she plays and stuff. So, Master of War, her passive. Upon giving or receiving hits from basic attacks, Bellona gains 5 protections and plus 6% movement speed for 5 seconds, a maximum of 5 stacks.
This is really great ability, really great passive, I mean.
Yes.
It makes it so that you can run away quite easily, especially from assassins. And it makes it so that if you're, especially with Scourge, which has a bit higher range, you can also chase really well.
I've already talked to some people about this, and I mean Bellona in general, and a lot of people feel like this passive is gonna be nerfed a little bit. Like maybe the 6% movement speed is gonna be reduced to maybe 3 or so, because she's incredibly friggin' fast already. But we'll, get into that a little later after presenting all of her abilities. So, Shield Bash. It's basically a slow, or a way to get away, because it's kind of like a slide thing, but it's not as long. For example, like Apollo's. And it slows enemies and does, obviously, damage. The slow is 30% for 2 seconds, and she also gains 1 stack of blood for each enemy god that is hit. It's a really elaborate description. It's really huge. It does a lot of stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Also, one thing to mention is afterwards she hits with Sword and Shield, and each basic attack, each 3 successful basic attacks do actually gain her another stack of the block. Which is really great if you're just kind of tanking in that moment, or if you want to tank some blows, so just like go in and hit, and then you get your block. So against auto attack, it's really strong.
Yes. I don't think I need to say much about Shield Bash, except it's either good for escaping or good for slowing down other enemies in case you need to help an ally or just help yourself maybe. So pretty much I'll leave it at that. However, Bludgeon. It's basically like a roundhouse kick to the face with a hammer, a huge hammer. She basically first spins around, and then she jumps up and bashes down. You can still turn while she's jumping, so it's pretty versatile, I guess. And it's pretty neat.
Yes.
Each enemy got hit in the spin increases the damage of the overhand attack, so the one when she jumps, by 30%. And obviously, when she's done with that attack, she uses her hammer for basic attacks until out of combat. She has a theme like that. Every ability she uses, she will use whatever weapon she had in that ability, and she will use it until out of combat. It's actually pretty neat.
Yeah,
do you want
especially
yes.
This is really good for clearing minion waves, or when you're in a huge group fight, because then with the hammer you hit every enemy in melee range. This is amazing. You just have to be near an enemy. You don't even have to target them. It's really good. I
personally use it as an initiator, unless I have eagle. Well, actually, usually I use her ultimate as finisher, or just to escape, but we'll talk about the ultimate in a bit. Bludgeon is definitely a good initiator. It's just like, here, jump in, screw everybody up, and there you go. speaking of her next ability, it's Scourge. It's pretty amazing because basically when you use your Scourge, first of all you disarm people or people's basic attacks. So every assassin or ADC speak hunters, they're screwed because they're silenced pretty much, and they can't use their auto attacks for anywhere between 2 to 3 seconds. It depends on how much power you have in it or how many skill points. And the cool thing is that every third hit she does with that Scourge heals her.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I just activate the Scourge and I just keep hitting everything. It's honestly extremely great. I've 1v5'd people with it. Especially if you have a lot of speed and extra lifesteal on your build with Scourge, people are screwed. People are so screwed.
One thing I mentioned before is that you have extended range. That's +4 meters, I presume it is. Well, distance units, let's put it that way. Which makes it a lot easier to hit with it, even when it's a bit farther away. And there are some gods that are screwed over more with this than others. For example, Rama is majorly screwed because 2 of his abilities actually depend on his basic attacks. It's like he can still activate them because it's not silence, but they don't do anything. So that's really, really strong. That's basically the reason why I see her as an anti-assassin, anti-ADC. God. It's basically that's the ability that puts her in that position, basically.
It's also really, again, since the last few patches, Harris has been really bringing out all this unique stuff, and it's really amazing because, once again, we have something extremely unique here. This is the first god who disarms basic attacks. Normally, other gods just disarm like her abilities, like Hades. She just disarms your basic attacks. So whenever somebody like Hades comes in on me and silences me, I'm like, lol, I use auto attacks, so I still hit. But with her, you're screwed. You're just screwed. It's like, well, shit. Alright, Eagle's Rally, her ultimate. She basically, Roma Invicta, basically. She jumps in, or out if you want to use it as an escape, but and plants a Roman flag, and it grants her protections and increased physical powers. And for allied gods, it does the same, at least in terms of physical power, I believe.
No, I believe it's both. The way it reads, it's both granting protections and physical power to all allied gods.
Okay, we're gonna read these. Bellona plants a Roman flag, granting anywhere between 15 to 35 protections, and increased physical power by anywhere between 10 and 50 to allied gods for 6 to 14 seconds. So I guess both. It's pretty neat. I haven't personally noticed it an awful lot, but then again, I haven't specifically looked out for it. I mean, everybody and their mom plays Bellona right now. It's hard to get her. Everybody auto-locks her, obviously. But I haven't personally noticed it an awful lot. I don't know, have you noticed it at all when you played with the Bellona?
To be honest, no, I haven't really noticed it. Like, I haven't noticed the difference in, like, hitting harder when I'm in Eagle's Rally, or, like, being hit less hard because of the protections. That's really not the main point for Eagle's Rally for me. For me, that's that's the deep bonus. It's just there. The thing I mainly use it for is either closing in, escaping, or stunning an enemy.
Keep going.
Because and like also there's like a bit of extra damage in that, because like if an enemy is actually escaping and I can't close in otherwise, I can use Eagle's Rally on them to either finish them off or just like stun them for a bit, so I can then
Yeah, because this ultimate has a second part to it. Enemies directly under where the flag is placed take anywhere between 100 to 500, plus 50% of her physical power is damaged and are stunned for a second. So, honestly, I haven't really noticed that happening. But then again, I personally usually use it to, when an enemy's trying to escape, I jump in on him and finish. Or if I'm in a pickle and there's 5 people on me and I really have the shorter hand, I jump the hell out. So for me personally, it was hard to notice any of these effects. So I don't know if it's broken or if it's just, me not noticing because I'm using it differently. Input from the viewers would be pretty neat.
What do you think?
Yeah. So that's basically Bellona in a nutshell right here. It's like I said earlier though, I've been really, really excited about how High-Res has brought out all these dual gods almost. In this case, again, she is a warrior, but she kind of plays like an assassin a little bit. Not so much in terms that you have to get out quickly again, because in fact you can stay pretty long. But the builds on her are actually very not warrior-like. It's a lot of speed and pen, and that's pretty much it. So I feel like this is another dual god again, kind of.
Yeah. Well, you can build her differently. I'm pretty sure that you can build her pretty tanky and still be doing good. But especially because all her abilities really emphasize her using her basic attacks. Attack speed is really good on her. Also, what is an item that I found that's really neat on her is Haste Fatalis.
Yes, definitely.
Because you're already really good at closing in or escaping, and with Haste Fatalis, you can do both so much better.
Yep. I put that on her too. I put Ozzy on her and Haste Fatalis, which means she gets healing from the Ozzy, and if you use her Scorch, she gets twice the healing, or 2 times healing. I've had an off-roll play with me yesterday, and people could never kill me, ever, period. I was the monster going around getting 14 kills and not dying, because people just couldn't finish me. I would heal so quickly, and it was just impossible. So, fuck, I also had a Titan's Bane, a Jotun, a Bluestone Pendant, so my mana would never, run out. And the boots, the speed boots, so the red ones, the ninja tubbies. It was devastating. People were getting annoyed on my team because I got all the kills, I guess. And the people on the enemy team tried so hard to shut me down, but it didn't work at all, even when they 1v5'd me. Especially that Awful on me. Awful had way more issues than I did. Obviously, they just killed her instead, and we're hoping that I'd go down, but not really. If you have a sprint or just jump out, or even just if you use your Scourge with all that attack speed and pen, it's like, forget it. Even tanks, they just melted.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, you have health, let me fix that. So I'm wondering if they're gonna nerf her a little bit, not so much in terms of power, but maybe in terms of speed and maybe scaling.
I believe if they nerf her, what they're gonna do is actually put down the basic damage values that are on her skills. Because the way they planned her is like, you don't need damage items because her damage is already pretty high. But if you do get damage items, that actually gets a bit out of proportion.
Yeah, it's also funny because the presentation video they made for Bellona, whoever played her got like a triple kill or even more in the video already, that never happened before. And a few people actually commented like, if you get a triple kill in your presentation video, I think you need to nerf your god. And I saw where they're coming from, so I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. She's an extremely valuable asset. I mean, I've played her a few times only. I've just mastered her, so enough to master her pretty much. And even if your team sucks, If you play Bellona and you get like 14 kills or whatever, you're gonna carry the team to victory either way. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if they're probably gonna nerf her. Though I have to say, not every Bellona I've seen the past few days has been great, because most of them built her funny or didn't really take advantage of her, that she already has so much power, and they wasted item slots with stuff that you don't even really need, like shields or something, and I'm like, pfft, you know. Honestly, all she needs is speed and pen. So. Yes.
One thing I do want to address is her biggest weakness, and that's burst mages.
Yeah, of course. Especially if you don't build like defense on her.
It's I was actually in a conquest where I was doing solo Bellona, and you can get really good matchups like assassins, and then you just wreck. But actually, I believe it was a hail.
Oh.
And yeah, that was bad. That was a really bad matchup for me, because I was constantly in my tower. I couldn't leave my tower at all. It was like, basically every CC I had was pretty much useless against her.
Yeah, heal is complicated because first of all, she can heal herself extremely, like a lot. So even if you take her down, she just undoes your damage again, pretty much.
Yep.
And she has all those cleansers and everything else. Yeah, and she's extremely powerful too. So, yeah, I can see how that would go bad.
If they decide to nerf her, they need to see that she doesn't get worse against those gods, because that's really like, if you want to shut down a Bellona, send a lot of mages in.
I mean, I personally haven't played her as tank at all, because I feel like she's quote unquote tanky enough, mostly because of her speed. Like, people can literally not outspeed you at all, no matter if 1v1 or 1v5, whatever, it didn't matter. Even against people like Ur or Thanatos or so, it doesn't even matter. Not even Loki scare me anymore with the Bellona, so I don't know how it works as a tank, so I don't know if you would have put a Stone of Gaia on her or something, if that would have helped at all or not, but yeah, I'm curious to see how this is gonna proceed, especially with more bursty mages.
Yeah.
That just screw you over, especially the ones that can heal themselves. Ooh.
Yeah, that's one of her biggest weaknesses.
Yeah. Alright. Do you want to say anything else about Bellona?
I like her. So this is one of the most fun gods I've played with lately.
Yeah, she's extremely fun, and especially on that high speed, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
She's great.
Also,
yes?
to all viewers who haven't made this connection yet, her name goes really well with my Bellona. You can proceed to hate me now.
Thank you. I'll hate you forever. Actually, okay, since we're on her name already, fun fact, Bellona, it's an Italian word, obviously. She's a Roman god. And it means beauty, but it's more, it doesn't just mean beauty. It's, I don't want to say it's cutified, but kind of like that. So it's interesting to name a god of war, basically, beauty. It's kind of weird. So yeah, you would say if somebody is very small and cute, you would say Bellina, and if somebody is a bit bigger and cute, you'd say Bellona. Okay, so there you go. She's not really big. That's kind of the almost a bit disappointing factor, because she's a warrior. She should have a bit more everything on her body, a bit more muscles and meat and everything, but okay. Again, with that speed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that much for the name. So please stop calling her Baloney.
Please.
Freaking out. I take personal offense to that. Yeah, just a little. Alright. Bellona.
Alright. So, next up.
Gimmickry. With new skins and god cars and stuff.
Yes. First off.
Yes, we've had a few.
Ymir got a new model, and it looks sexy as hell.
Ymir is here. He's now transparent in his belly. You can see his non-existing intestines. Yes.
I didn't actually notice that detail.
No, he's transparent. It's funny. You can see through his belly, but the back is still kind of solid snow-ish. It's pretty funny. You should look at it.
To check that out.
Yeah, check it out. Look, you're learning something too here.
Mm-hmm.
He looks really nice, honestly. He reminds me a lot of Twitch Ymir with his lighter blue color now, but cool. So Ymir is here. Good stuff. And then we actually have a few skins, which I have already spoiled on our Twitter previous to this patch. We have Hercules the Roca.
It's a really fun skin. I personally don't play Hercules too much, but especially the little detail with the pinata ball and stool he uses for smacking people around. It's really well made skin and fun to play against too, or like if it's in your team. I like it.
So this is racist skin number how much? We have Dante Burate's Nemesis and like Cha-Cha-Cha Chang'e and Carnival Neef, and now I have him, and I sure have missed some. I don't mind. It's fun and games. It's whatever. As long as Mexican and Spanish people don't take offense to it, it's all good. And we also have a more Tim Burton-like skin for Scylla.
Oh, yeah.
Daisy Despair, or Nightmare Scylla as I called her on the tweet. It's really cool. It's very Tim Burton inspired because they even have Zero the dog from Nightmare Before Christmas. She's very frightening.
Yes. Yes, she is.
She's your worst nightmare or your biggest love now if you like Tim Burton movies. She's cute.
I like because it's kind of, on the one hand, it's kind of colorful, but on the other hand, it's still very grisly.
Yep.
So they nailed that really well. It also fits Scylla really well, I feel.
Yeah, that was pretty much a natural pick in my opinion, almost. I don't know if this was a fan suggestion or whoever came up with it, but good job. I like it.
Definitely.
Next we have BattleMaiden Bellona. Or as I call her, Anime Bellona. It's all it is. Look at her purple hair. It's all it is.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all we have to say. Anime Bellona. That's one of the few recolors I'm definitely gonna buy. So
I actually bought it already because I was like, heck, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
I just like purple hair in general, so it was for me a no-brainer.
I didn't buy it because I really like her normal look. She looks, fun fact, she looks a lot like me. Like I had that kind of haircut. Some of my friends were like, holy crap, she looks like you. So it was pretty funny. So I really dig her normal look. So I didn't buy the recolor yet, but I will because it's pretty nice. Just as a nice second option there. I believe it's 9,500 favor.
Something around that.
That's the last I've seen, so get it!
Yes.
And last but not least, the obligatory gold / legendary / diamond Awilix. So that's pretty much all in terms of skins for this patch. You can actually buy the Scylla skin normally, I believe.
Yes.
It's not in a chest, but La Roca is. However, the chest it's one of those chests with very few items, so you're not going to be spending tons of money on it if you really, really, really want it. So, because people are going to complain again, I know it.
Well, I probably won't get skins that are in the 55 item chests because I'm like, no.
I actually have almost all of them.
Well, you've been playing a lot longer than me and also spending a lot more money on this game than I have.
I just like it. Those chests, I forgot what they're called, the ones in the middle. They actually have the Sleepy Time Kumba, the Black Widow, Arachne, and some really other cool stuff. They obviously have that Prize Fighter Merc, which I still haven't gotten, which is probably good because I'm not too fond of him really. So yeah, it's good stuff. The Hunter chests are also still available. They actually renewed the time on it. Everything is available for another 30-something days. So in case you were panicking about not getting Cave Artemis yet or something, you still got a chance. So there you go. Oh, by the way, note on the side here, Bellona's voice pack totally sounds like Nox. Some people have been complaining. I personally am like, whatever. Just wanted to mention
Might
here.
be the same voice actress, who knows?
I need to check again. I'll confirm it in a tweet or an annotation because I didn't get around to checking it yet, but I'd be curious. So I'll put a description or a little note somewhere for you guys. It'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that was pretty much that. Do you want to say anything else to the skins?
Not adding anything, no.
Okay. Then let's talk items.
Items?
There's not much to say. There's just two mentionable changes. Bluestone Pendant. Would you like to say something about that?
Yes, my heart is weeping because they disabled it to purchase an assault. And,
yep.
Well, I guess it was too strong because
yep.
You could have probably gotten away with not getting meditation anymore.
Absolutely.
And warrior and assassin. So yeah, it had to go, but it's still really, really. It hits me in the heart.
Alright, guys, Bluestone Pendant not purchasable anymore in Assault. GG. You have to go back to death toll or just stick to your potions and med. Yeah, it was way too OP. It's like I said earlier at the Bellona segment, I put that on her build as a fixed item, so I never run out of mana ever. Because I don't feel like buying meditation in something like Arena or anywhere. So yeah, it's OP.
Yeah, I usually have it and then I sell it if I get around to buy a sixth item.
In her case, I feel like it's a good addition, and really, I don't really need to replace it with anything. I make it part of the build because you're always gonna be happy about a lot of mana. It refills really quickly, so.
Usually I feel like at the high levels, like level 20, I'm actually good with my mana, so I don't really need it that bad. And then I rather get a bit more either attack speed or damage or whatever I need.
I can't get more attack speed on my build. I already hit 2. So yeah. Alright. We also have the Crusher, which was another new item they introduced last time. Disabled for purchase in Joust. 2 OP.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I guess the reason this was made was because backdooring is already a problem in 1v1 League Joust, and with the Crusher you can just backdoor that much better. Yeah. It makes sense to deactivate it.
Yeah, it's probably because of the League play, the 1v1s. I don't think it's... Well, I don't know, maybe it is an issue in 3v3s. I have actually not used it yet. It's kind of too bad. Now it's gone, so... Damn it. Whoops. Yeah, those are pretty much all the mentionable things.
Well, one thing that's kind of mentionable is the Hydras was buggy in last patch.
I skipped that. I'm sorry. Hydras Lament.
Yes. Both Hydras Lament and Hydras Star had the old and new passives being applied, which meant a lot of ouch.
Yeah, so the old passive was 50% extra damage. The new passive is 25, so you got a total of 75 because there was a little bug. Oops. I have to admit, I abused the fact that it did that until now. I was like, you know what? It's a 75% extra damage. Let's buy it. But I think a lot of people did that, at least the ones who knew.
I actually didn't, but not because I felt like, oh no, I'm so honorable not to abuse the spot. It was just like I mostly forgot every time because I have my builds and I don't usually use Hydras
Right.
in them. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been buying it less too because as an item, it's not as good as it used to be anymore for me, anyway. So I skipped it and found ways around it. So yeah, I didn't buy it that much. But especially in Assault, like when you have two or somebody, or I don't know. Alright, that's it for items, I believe. The rest is literally just we put item so and so under this category, so and so. It's not too interesting, really.
Mm-hmm.
You can just find items better now.
Basically.
Alright. Nerfs, buffs, mods, and gods. There's not much to say other than the fun fact that they already fixed Bellona.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is from the testing on the PTS, and that's the changes reflect stuff they changed from the PTS to now this the official release here. But I don't know for sure. I think that's the only thing that makes sense since she just came out.
Yeah.
They already nerfed her basically. So.
Well, I wouldn't say nerfed if
Fixed. I don't know.
If it was just things she was doing which she wasn't supposed to be doing in the first place.
Yeah, I guess. Like the first one, fixed bug and scourge damage. Second hit now does 50% scaling rather than 125. Oops. Whoops. Good stuff. The other things were just little changes like animations, tooltips, on other gods, I mean. There's one, I guess, honorable mention here. It goes to Hou Yi.
Yes.
He can now glide over player deployables with his dive bomb, first of all.
Which makes so much sense.
Yes. Even through the Ymir wall, actually, now.
Well, yeah.
I tried it. That doesn't make that much sense because when he flies, he's about as high as the wall. So actually, he kind of flies through it. It's kind of weird. But I actually had it happen yesterday, so apparently that's a thing now. But they actually had to deactivate Hou Yi for a day because they apparently put a little bug by accident. So what happened is that once he used his 3, he was invincible for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's.
I would have loved to see those matches. This Hou Yi walks up to you, fucks you over, and you can't even do anything.
Yeah, that's me.
And he deicides the whole team. Like, how did those matches go? Did people just hide out in the base, or does anybody have videos or tales about this? I want to know. If so, post them below. I'm just curious at this point. Oh man.
There has to be a video somewhere.
I know. I'm easily amused too. Okay. Yeah, the other stuff is literally just fixes little, animation stuff or tooltip misspellings, stuff like that. So it's literally just Bellona and honorable mention to Hou Yi, who was a real god for once there for a day. Good stuff.
Indeed.
General changes. Well,
one thing I want to address at the first place, it might come up a bit later, but that's for me the biggest thing, really.
Mm-hmm.
They continued updating the interface.
Yes, they did.
And it's already that much better.
Yes, the friend list is now blue too, and the chat is not overlapping with your god selection anymore. Oh my god, the way they solved it though, it's kind of disturbing a little bit. They just moved the god selection window up a little bit so the chat window doesn't overlap anymore. Right?
Well, it still overlaps a little bit, but that's not as disturbing.
Not on my screen, actually.
Okay, that might be my resolution. It's a bit lower right now.
Maybe. The funny thing is now they put the god selection window up so high you can barely see your fancy Odyssey pedestals anymore. So, yep. That's too bad. At least in my resolution. I don't know how it looks for everybody else. I don't know. So yeah, they updated the UI. The God Builder is still in the old style. I checked. But yeah, I don't know. I also like they added something else. When you accept a match, you can now browse stuff, so you're not stuck on that little window anymore. That's actually good.
Yes, I agree so much with that. That was so annoying.
A little.
Especially, I was like, for example, doing stuff in the God Builder, and I didn't hit save yet, and then the match came up. I was like, great, I can just basically do it again now.
Yeah,
Even if you're not done, you can at least save your progress. So, like, you couldn't, and it's like, but then so.
For me, it was usually that I was like typing a chat, and then suddenly I couldn't even finish my sentence, and so when I got to the lobby in the end, you need to hit enter to get into the typing field unless you want to go with the mouse. So it would send whatever the fuck I was writing. I'm like, oops. Oh shit. And it wasn't even a complete sentence. It was usually just half cut off or something. And I'm like, oh shit. Good stuff. They also added a home button again. I don't know. I didn't personally mind like when the match is over.
My problem was I was so used to I was so used to the old thing, and I didn't notice that there was the home button or where the SMITE button was supposed to be. It kind of makes sense because with the SMITE button you can get to the home screen too. A thing I didn't know, by the way, until much later, but it didn't stood out at all. Like I didn't even notice a change from SMITE to home at all. So it's just a more user-friendly experience. So I found that good.
Okay. They also removed single match god rentals. That's kind of too bad. I've used them sometimes on my alt account. I don't know how many other people have used it, though probably not a lot. I mean, if they removed it, it couldn't have been that many, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that what you used 3 days or something rentals?
Sometimes I used one-time rentals, for example, for that Agni or so, like just gods that I didn't really want to play for 3 days or so. But yeah, gods that I liked a lot, like 2 or so, who aren't unlocked. Yeah, I used 3-day rentals for those. Yep.
I think the reason why they removed it is they looked at the numbers of how often is this feature actually being used.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And it's just like taking space away. It's like cluttering the interface. It's like, okay, people are not picking up on this. We're just gonna strip it off because no one really wants it or uses it. Almost no one. So yeah, I feel that's why they removed it.
Okay. The other new thing is that they changed the chat system a little bit, so there's a tab system again now, but I'm not quite happy because unlike before, when you'd close a tab, you are now stuck on the tab that you closed. So it gets confusing. So if you, for example, PM a friend, and you close the tab, it will still show that content unless you click something else twice.
Yeah, it's a bit buggy still.
No, it's just not quite where it should be yet. I wouldn't say it's buggy. I feel like they just didn't quite finish it yet or put it the way it should be or whatever. So I would personally appreciate if that could be fixed because it's slightly confusing because we've had issues now that somebody wrote "be right back," but I didn't realize that it was just not, that it didn't change the tab yet. So we were waiting on people that were actually here in parties. It's weird, yeah. Because somebody wrote me private and was like, "I'll be right back," and I closed it and I didn't realize it was, So yeah, that's a bit. That could be improved a little bit. But I do like that there's tabs now that you can there's just not just 2 tabs that you can just, it's kind of like before. Slightly.
Exactly, and I mean, it's there was more than enough space for all of these tabs, obviously. They put them there. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and other than that, they fixed a few friend list issues. So that's good. We had a bug. We definitely encountered a bug where it would show your friend list empty and stuff, even though people were online. But you could still invite them to a party if you typed in their name, and it was weird. So they fixed stuff. Good stuff. I think that's all the changes that we need to mention.
I think so.
There's just smaller stuff like fixed tooltips and, yeah. Again, if you want to see the whole thing, and if you haven't already, go check the patch notes in the description. So that's pretty much everything we need to discuss here. Before we close this, I would like to do some data mining for you guys. There's a few things coming out or upcoming. So apparently somebody found a completed Domination map somewhere in the files. So now there's speculations about maybe Domination coming back as a more fixed thing again. For everybody who's a newer player, Domination actually used to be a fixed mode on SMITE, but then they removed it, and they brought it out as a mode of the day occasionally. But apparently there's a complete map in the files now, so we're not sure if it's gonna come back as a fixed thing or if it's just kind of there still or what's going on, but it might be a possibility. If you haven't played Domination yet, it's kind of like a capture the flag mod or mode. There's 3 I always call them genies because they look like genies to me. They're sand guardians, so like one is in left, middle, right, and they're neutral at first, and you have 2 teams obviously, and you have to take them and get all the minions in. It's kind of a mix between Arena and Capture the Flag. So maybe it comes back as a fixed mode. We'll see. There's also been a few other discoveries, specifically for Arena. Apparently, there has been something added, again, in some files. We don't know if that's going to come or not. So everything in this segment is always, an eventual thing. We don't know. A possibility. There have been additions to Arena where they might add neutral, I guess, monsters or bots around the map so you can get some extra points outside killing enemies and minions or getting them into the portal. But again, we don't know if this is going to be implemented or not. It's definitely being experimented with, apparently. And with Conquest, we have something too. Apparently there's a mode with 6 gold per second and one with 1.2 per second, like an expert game mode. So again, we don't know if this is going to happen or not, but they're apparently trying stuff out. Interesting. There's also a few other things that aren't very map specific. There is apparently some tests with maps that have missions. We don't know what yet. And there's also possibly a test with bosses. I don't know what that means. If I would have to guess, I'd imagine that there's a map with a boss and you just team up and have to kill it. But I don't know what else goes into it or if I'm completely off or whatever. So again, this is a very maybe, possibly, or maybe not kind of segment, but I wanted to have mentioned this in case it ever shows up. This is what I found anyways, or what somebody found that I stumbled over. So if they implement any of these, or even just the fact that they're testing stuff out, it means there's even more stuff coming other than just the remodels of Arena and Joust and Assault. Which again, as we said in the last podcast, I'm assuming they're gonna try to finish all this up in time for the Xbox version to come out, which is apparently end of the year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So this could get really exciting.
Definitely.
I do like the sound of maps with missions or maps with bosses or...
Yeah, I mean, some basically the way it sounds, it's going to be some co-op content, but not against pretty crappy bots, which is good to maybe learn a god or just get into the game, but actually tough challenges that you have to solve. Just basically PvE content, if you want. So
yeah, it also sounds interesting in general because it gives it a bit more of an RPG feel almost, or I don't know what to call it really, but it sounds nice. I personally would definitely like if there were some sort of SMITE RPG or something, and if they would add little maps like that or little special modes or something, that would be pretty neat. I personally, the geek in my heart is happy if that would happen. But I don't know. So this is what we got for this. I'll keep you up to date if I find out anything else. I'll post it on Twitter or we'll discuss it in our next podcast, as always. So again, you should start following us on Twitter at Watcher's Gift. Just one word, no apostrophes or anything. Or you should subscribe so you can actually get notifications about when we bring out new videos. And also special videos like what we just did, where we talked with Power to Mario and the Pasta King about girls in SMITE and why there aren't too many, or what the issues could be and whatnot. And you can also look forward to us uploading a bunch of SMITE matches to this channel. So there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be coming out. Which is why you might want to subscribe so you don't miss out on it.
Definitely.
And if you ever want to play with us, feel free to let us know. So maybe we can even make a video sometime. That'd be cool. We're pretty much just making videos with friends of ours at this point, or right now, and if you would like to maybe be featured on one, send us a friend request.
Please do.
And as always, if you have any comments, questions, whatever, feel free to leave them below. And this is the ggSMITE section here, where if you have anything to say, or if you have any cool stats or cool videos or anything, you can tweet them to us with the hashtag ggSMITE. So we can maybe feature your stuff here in the future.
This section needs content. And
this section needs more awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of our own. I don't want to spam the section with only our content, so I would really like, or we would both really like to show off some of you guys' content, especially if you pull off something cool. And I know that Inuki on the official SMITE channel has a segment with top 5 plays, but maybe you didn't make it in there, so just send it to us instead. That'd be pretty cool.
Definitely.
Alright, so how did you feel about this patch overall? It was a small patch.
It was, but significant because basically of Bellona.
Yep.
And I think I played more Bellona than any other god since the patch came out. So yeah, I had fun. I'm really looking forward to playing more matches with her, especially once the hype cools down a bit. So that I don't have to do tricks and stuff to actually be able to get her. Yeah. It's like if you don't spam the right spot with the mouse once you're in the queue, you're not getting Bellona. It's that easy.
Yeah, she's picked.
So I'm really looking forward to just playing a relaxed match of Bellona.
I wonder if that's gonna happen anytime soon. I think people like her a lot, so...
Yeah, rightfully so. I can't blame them. I can't blame anyone who wants to play Bellona.
Yeah, it's we've seen... There have been very few matches where people didn't have a Bellona. Very, very few. So
I can only think of one or two, to be honest.
yeah,
And
I've seen a few. So, but most of the time, people were obviously immediately picking her, and then auto locking, obviously, which I hate auto locking, but that's another topic for another time. So yeah, any other feelings on the patch?
Otherwise, I still weep for Bluestone Pendant installed.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a good patch. With the UI fixes are neat, Bellona is neat, and yeah, I like it.
Alright guys, leave a like on this video to give Mikey a hug.
Aww.
For his grief about Bluestone Pendant and Assault.
That would be so sweet.
Personally, I feel like this is a really neat patch. I like that it's it was very simple and short. I can dig it. It was very straightforward. It's just like, here's a new god, here's a few fixes, well, and a few new skins, and that's it. It's like, okay, simple and easy. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty much expecting for them to bring out a patch in between, basically, because last time we didn't have a god. So, which reminds me, the upcoming gods, still Medusa and Puch. So I don't know in what order, but it seems like that's where it's heading. I've also seen that SMITE, also an Egyptian god, so Osiris's brother, will come out, but I don't know when. I just there's no dates. I'm just mentioning it here. It's just stuff you can look forward to. So there you go.
Ooh.
Good stuff. There's a lot coming. I'm personally excited. They are putting a lot of work into season 2 already. It's barely started, and we already have a lot of great stuff to look forward to. I'm personally very impressed, and I always have a hard time understanding when people are bitching about High-Rise's work, or when you hear more debates about why is this a chest-only skin, or, you know, and High-Rise is money hungry and stuff. Not to defend High-Rise or curl up their butts or something. It's just, it's impressive for me. They're working on all this stuff and they're still making it all work. And there are bugs, but they fix it so quickly, like the Hou Yi thing. They noticed pretty quickly, from what I can tell, and they took him out for not quite a day, really, and then he was back in. So, very efficient. I've also seen some tweets earlier on Stu's Twitter about that there were some issues with the server, mostly for EU, but also in general. And they fixed them really quickly again, given that it wasn't even in their power. So, again, I'm impressed. I really like all the work High-Rise is putting into this, and they're really dedicated, and they really care about their community.
Definitely.
There's not many companies out there like that. I mean, let's not even start talking about some companies and how they bring out broken games. Damn Ubisoft. Anyway.
Oh my god, you're so edgy.
Topic for another time. But yeah, I really like what they're doing. And again, this is all free, so go figure. Other companies take your money and still don't do their job. Again, not calling any names. So yeah. Alright, so this pretty much rounds it up here. Again, as always, please leave a like to comfort Mikey about the Bluestone Pendant issue. Or if you liked the video, obviously.
Nah, that's not a reason to leave a like at all.
And if you like what we're doing. And subscribe so you can get more cool podcasts and specials and matches. Befriend us so you can maybe be in a video sometime. I don't always record. I first have to edit the footage I have after a while. So, because we have a lot of footage usually when I record a lot of matches, so I don't want to spam the channel too much yet. And follow us on Twitter for more infos, parodies, fun facts, anything else I find out in terms of data mining and whatnot. And don't forget ggSMITE. Yep. Alright, that's all from me. Anything you want to say still?
I think I just close with a simple goodbye and tune in next time.
Yes, alright. Thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time or on SMITE. Bye!